Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, the Crew Ivory Tower Ubisoft announced the Crew Motorfest. That is pretty much the Crew 3 that they announced. And this time they are way more open in communication than in previous titles. They released a little teaser. We'll have a look at that. Of the game. Let's first have a look at that. There we go. There are a few things here. Seems to be a smaller map than the current USA map that we have in the Crew 2. And then we have all of these things here. The Insider program, as it's called. And we'll also have a look at that and see what they mean by that.
Hi, I'm Elisa, Communication Manager at Ubisoft. I'm super excited to welcome you today at Ubisoft Ivory Tower. We're here to film the first episode of our Behind the Wheel video series for our next The Crew installment, The Crew Motorfest. As I will guide you through the studio, you will discover step by step what's in store for our next game, including the Insider program that you may have a chance to participate in. But first, let's take a look at where we come from, but most importantly, where we're going, with Fergus, our creative director.
Hi everyone. Back in 2014, we released The Crew, our first take on a new open-world action-driving dream, which established the original pillars of the franchise. From the very beginning, the team's ambition has been an ever-evolving open-world playground for all car lovers. 4 years later, The Crew 2 renewed our US playground, offering an enhanced motorsports fantasy, giving our players the opportunity to drive and pilot not only cars, but also boats and planes. After nearly 5 years of continued live service, 14 free content updates and hundreds of new vehicles released, we are thrilled to keep welcoming millions of players every month. That's why we are here today for a new chapter in the Crew franchise for the Crew Motorfest. And this time, we would like to create something special on our way to the launch, introducing our Insider program.
Thanks, Fergus. I'm sure you want to know how this program will unfold as much as I do. And I'm glad to leave the floor to our live producer, Sofiane.
Hi, Elisa. Thank you very much. Thanks to the experience we have acquired over the years, we know how much launching a AAA game has become increasingly complex. The Crew Motorfest is going to be a live game, which means that we are committed to adding content on a regular basis, as well as making sure that our experience will stay meaningful on the long run. This is why we want our most engaged players to get behind the wheel as early as possible, helping our teams to identify areas of improvement before the game releases.
And that's what the Insider program is all about. It's a closed test during which we will offer selected players the opportunity to play the game and share their feedback, starting tomorrow, February 1st, and for several months. The available content will be mostly a work in progress, and participants will be required to sign a confidentiality agreement. This test will be split into several phases, each welcoming an increasing number of players and targeting specific objectives. The first phases will last several weeks, and will be limited to PC to allow quick iterations. During the final phases, we will welcome console players in order to be prepared for the final release. We look forward to making this test a success together.
Now you may want to know how to join the Insider program. Our communication team got you covered.
Thanks, Elisa. Hi, everyone. The Insider program will help us to build a list of expectations depending on the community feedback. The first batch will welcome 2,000 players, chosen from our most active TC2 players. Our objective for this first phase is to aggregate the most relevant feedback and pay tribute to our most engaged players, committed 4 years to the development of the franchise. If you are selected for the first phase, you will receive an email within days, so make sure to check your inbox. If you don't get invited from the beginning, registrations will be opened and will target specific groups of players for each new phase.
We will have a closed server on Discord to kickstart the discussion, identify issues, and start prioritizing community feedback. On top of that, any participant will get a chance to share their feedback through regular surveys. We will also regularly share major updates on the development of the game in the coming month. We cannot wait to welcome you all to the Crew Motorfest and to show you what the team at Ivory Tower has been working so hard at. So stay tuned.
That's it for our first episode of Behind the Wheel. Thank you for joining us. Expect more videos as we unfold more.
So. There we have it. They definitely have learned a few things from the past. In the Crew 1, we had some small group of players invited. The thing didn't even have a name, as far as I know. I know some people, like Paraglider or so, were invited at one point, but they didn't do much more with that. In the Crew 2, they created something called the Pit Crew, which was a small feedback group. Some people got invited to these offices behind there, and we did some testing, including myself. I think we were about 8 to 10 players, went there for 5 to 6 days. We did a bit of testing. We didn't even play that much. Other than that, meetings, talk about the aspects of the game, and get some things going. Then that group expanded. We had a Pit Crew Discord. The group expanded to 20, 30, 40 people, who knows. And then things moved on from there. And then every time when, for instance, there was a new season, people got invited to test it a week earlier or something. Did some pre-recording so that they can do videos for YouTube and such. If, for instance, an update came out on Wednesday, then you could post it on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Videos could be posted and things like that. That, of course, means you need to have your video ready, so you were invited to some pre-recordings as well, so that you had time to record it all. This time they definitely learned from the past, and they created the Insider program. Not just 20, 30 people or whatever, they invite the 2,000 most active players. You will have to sign an NDA, and then you can go from there. And then through the different phases of testing, you will be invited to all of them. That's sort of similar as in the Crew 2. The only thing in the Crew 2 was that they were not so open about it, and that led to all kind of leaks and things like that. And then people thought that they figured it out. When something released, let's say February or March 2018, something got leaked and people thought like, oh, things are going on. Things were already going on from October 2017 or whatever. But most people didn't know about that. This time, they come in very early. They announced there will be 2,000 players involved in this. They will also have their own Discord for the Insider program. And then, if you're not invited, then you can still register for later phases of the test, which means that every month and a half, there will be a test, which means you can download a separate test build of the game, and you can play on that. And then you need to test whatever it is that they need at that moment. That can be something with sounds, that can be something with car designs or development of the road, or if there are bugs here and there, pieces of road missing, you can report all that. And then they try to fix that by the next iteration of the test. That's sort of how that goes. And that seems to be all way more open than it was in the previous titles. So they definitely learned from that. Other than that, the thing is called not the Crew 3, but it's called the Crew Motorfest, but it is in a way the Crew 3. It seems to be more on an island this time. I think we're going to see something like smaller maps on some sort of tropical island. Maybe we will see. Obviously, the previous two games, the Crew and the Crew 2, were in a scaled down version of the USA, which was one of the features of the game was like their big map. Maybe they keep it more compact this time. They obviously have been working on this already for quite a bit. What you see here behind, for instance, is still the old office, but I know that they have bought the place next door for the new office, and there was already a team in there who were sort of trying to get things going, the first iterations or the base of the game. And then now the players get involved, and we can actually test what they already have. If you are invited, we will see. The mails go out to 2,000 paper in the next couple of days, they said, so we will see. To the most active players, I don't even know if we will get an invite. I'm assuming they will invite the pit crew and the testers from the Crew 1, the people that are already involved playing the game for over 8 years now. We will see. So that will be it for this one. The Crew 3 is sooner than expected, actually, announced. So they are definitely way more open. So that is already a good thing. Other than that, not much we can do with that trailer, other than sort of assuming that it seems to be a part of an island or a coastline, but how big is that map or things like that, that will all become clear later. They also said they will do more open communication by getting more from these behind the wheel episodes and also updates every few months for where they are in the development of the game. When does it release? That's not official yet. Probably also not known yet. That might depend on what we run into problem-wise when they are developing it. Somewhere this year or next year, I would assume, when everything is smoothened out and everything runs like it should run, that's when we probably will see it. We know that the Crew 2 still has seasons going. They announced at least 8 seasons, which lead us to June 2023, which is 5 years of the Crew 2. And then we'll see if they will have this ready already. I'm kind of doubting it. I will see. My personal guess is, if we see this game come out, it will be probably somewhere from September to December this year, if not beginning of next year. That would be my guess. The Crew 3 is not the Crew 3, it's called the Crew Motorfest, but it is coming. That is what we got from this one. We'll see what it is and where we go with it once more news gets out. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.